Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and let's take a look at this assignment. I'm having a lot of questions, and I think I can do this more efficiently. So this first part is a video that walks you through the two calculations we're going to be doing. And then we are going to take a look at this. So what I'm going to improve is this part where we talk about the calculations on the spreadsheet and using graphical analysis. So we have this link will take you to the data collected this year. So this is a sample map that you need to get a copy of. And this is the folder full of the files that we've done this year. If you go up from there, actually, wait, if you go back over here, then this is how you get a link to the spreadsheet. And this one is data from previous years or from last year. So if you click on this, it will take you to all of those. And note that the layout of the file names are exactly the same. So like J on both years is exactly the same thing. So just be clear about if you're using the ones from this year or last year, okay? So once we get, let's take a look at the spreadsheet. So you're going to calculate using these values, the moment of inertia. I'll go through that in just a moment. And the force in pounds and the displacement. I'm using a D for the delta max. This is from the yield point. I'm going to show you how to do that. That's something you get from Vernier graphic analysis. Modulus of elasticity is calculated, and the ultimate yield force is, or the ultimate force is from the graphic analysis. So let's go to the graphic analysis and get some of those. I got sample H from last year. So let's go take a look at that. So we're going to be looking at this one, sample H from last year. And there was a mistake in it. You have to be kind of careful. So this is the row I'm working on. I'm going to color it all pink so I know where to type my stuff. All right, here we go. First, we need to get the force, the displacement, and the ultimate force. So let's go to graphical analysis. This is a file, and this one had a mistake. If you see this data set pop up over here, that means we forgot to zero the displacement, and our true displacement is a calculated column. So what we want to do then is we're going to have force versus not time, but displacement. Normally, you would just choose this, but in this case, we've got a corrected one called true displacement. And that's going to be the one we want. All right, so let's look at this zone here. In my original video, what I had you do is, I'm going to zoom in. I had you go and calculate an average around that point, and I need people to do this more quickly than they have been. So we're going to estimate that yield point. So right here we see a straight line, and then it starts tapering off somewhere in here. So I'm going to guess the yield point is about right there. So I'm going to click right there. And right there, I see 61.2 pounds. And I see a displacement of 0.143. And that's the number from here and here. The other thing we need, I'm going to go back to all of it. So that's one number. My ultimate strength is in this area somewhere here. It's in that zone. So I just highlight that. We're going to click on this little button, choose View Statistics. And we're looking for the maximum. Our maximum is 69.24. You don't have to get all those numbers. You can go to like 3 or 4 important numbers. I'm fine with that. Okay, so let's go fill in our table with those numbers. So you just do that for every data file you look at. You find the yield point, tell me the force and the displacement, and you do the average to make sure you get the highest point to find what that maximum was. All right, back to the spreadsheet. So we're working on this one. Our force at the yield point was 61.2 pounds, and our displacement 0.143, and then our ultimate strength was 69.24. Okay, these two are calculated. In the previous one, I had fewer columns here. So remember in our formula that it's base times height cubed divided by 12. So I'm going to click on this cell, enter an equal sign, open a parentheses. I'm going to click on the base, which is 2.09, and I'm going to multiply that times the height, and then I'm going to use the grave to raise it to the third power like that, close the parenthesis, divided by 12. Bam. It's suggesting an autofill. I'm going to cancel that for now. We're just going to copy this all the way across when we're done. All right. One of the things I want to do is see how it's got this really long number. That's a little bit of overkill. So we're going to see if we can shorten that a little bit. That's plenty. So that's going to make it a lot easier to digest. All right. Other calculation we have to do is for our elasticity. So I'm going to go equals. And if we go back and look at that first video, you'll see that it is the force times the length cubed divided by 48 times the delta max times the moment of inertia. So I'm going to open a parenthesis to force the order of operations. I'm going to use this force. That's the first one. F times L. The length is here, so I'm going to click on the length, raise that to the third power, close the parenthesis, divided by, open a parenthesis, 48 times the displacement, right there, times the moment of inertia, right here, okay? And close that parenthesis, and that looks reasonable, okay? Again, with the really large numbers, why don't we do this? Let's just get rid of the decimal completely, because really these should be in the thousands. This is going to let us real quickly look at those numbers and tell what's happening. So this one I moved to 3 decimal places. This one I removed the decimals completely, okay? What you can do is, once you're done, you can take this formula and just go up here to the top, select all of these cells down to the bottom, and then do Control V to paste it. And now you've got the moment of inertia calculated for everything. And then you can Control C or copy this one for your elasticity and go to the first row and go all the way down to the end and Control V, paste that. And we're getting divide by 0 because we haven't calculated some of this stuff. But if you go in and start filling these in, so if we had 4 and 5 and oh, it needs some numbers here. It's looking for that. Okay. That'll work whenever you have the other cells filled in. That's what I'm trying to show you. So if you have all of these and all these calculations done here, then it will do that. Okay. So don't worry about that just yet. It will fill in as you go. But what I'm saying is you can copy and paste these, and that will be just fine. All right. So that's all I have here.